Welcome back. Well, in previous videos I showed you how to load the bobbin and I showed you how to load the top thread. So we're ready to do some sewing now. I'll drop links to those other videos in the description if you've missed those. But anyway, we're going to start with the straight stitches first, and that is stitches number 6 through 11 on your dial, 6 through 11. And these are all straight stitches. I'll show you the difference in them. The first thing I'm going to do is what we call pull up the bobbin thread. Now this machine, it cuts the thread exactly as you need it to start sewing, but I still like to have my bobbin thread already pulled up when I start sewing. So the way you do that is you grab your top thread. I have red on the top. So this is the thread that is coming through the needle. And you're just going to hold it out to the side. You're just putting a little tension on it so it doesn't get sucked up under the machine. Turn the hand wheel towards you. The needle is going to go in, and then you see it pulls the bobbin thread up through the plate. So now I have a red thread from the top and a white thread from the bobbin. The bottom coming out, and I'm going to put it on the left. Now, let's select a stitch. The difference between stitches 6 through 10 is just the stitch length. It's a straight stitch, so it doesn't actually have a stitch width. The width is like for zigzag from side to side. The length is how long it is between each stitch. So these are all different, and I printed out the little guide. Just to look at it, a lot of times one is not that much different than the other. Number 6 is 1.6 millimeters. Number 7 is 1.8. 8 is 2 millimeters. 9 is 3 millimeters. 10 is 4. And then number 11. Now that's a little bit different. Number 11 is with the needle to the left. All those other ones have the needle going right down the center. The other one is the needle to the left. And there would be certain times when that would be handy. What you need to know mainly is how far your needle is from your stitch guides. On this plate right here, there's a lot of little lines, and those lines tell you how far you're sewing from the edge of your fabric, because there's different patterns have different seam allowances is what that's called. So what you need to do, let's go to a center. I'm just going to put it on number 6, and I'm going to let my needle down, and I'm going to measure from the needle to one of my guides. And you look here, if I line that needle up on an inch marker, the 3/4 inch line for one is at 3/4 of an inch. So this particular machine is, the guides are set for center position. There are some machines where the guides are set for the left position. So if you have a different machine, you just need to measure. Now let's go to number 6, and I'm going to turn the hand wheel again, pull my needle up to the highest position, and I have some fabric. So I'm just going to put it under here, let your presser foot down, and I'm going to hold my threads out to the side a little bit just to keep them from getting pulled back into the machine on these first few stitches. So I turn the wheel and put the needle into the fabric. Then, let me find my presser foot here, my foot pedal. I'm just going to give it a little bit of gas. Now remember, when you sew by machine, you're not running a race. You are, being more efficient than hand sewing. So that doesn't mean you need to go 90 miles an hour. You will get much better stitches if you just let the machine go a medium rate. Not too fast, not too slow. Keeping the edge of your fabric lined up with whichever seam allowance you have, whichever line there, and just let it go straight on through there. Now, when you get to the end, if you want to lock that seam, you're going to hold down the reverse lever and take a couple of stitches back and then a couple of stitches back where you were. That locks the end of that seam. Raise your foot up, raise your needle up. Now, when you start to pull this out, if it doesn't come out freely, you don't have your needle all the way up. See, like right now, my fabric is not coming out. So just give it a little more of a turn. When you hit that spot where it's at the highest, that tension will release and your fabric will just pull right out. Then go to the side, trim your threads, okay? And we have a nice seam. Let's see if I can get it where you can see it there. There's the top and that's the bottom, okay? Now let's turn it over just a little, and if I go to 7 or 8, you're probably not going to see the difference. So I'm going to go to stitch number 9. This is just going to be a little bit longer stitch, and it will help you sew faster because it's sewing a longer stitch. You know, like I said, hold your thread while you sink your needle and give it a little bit of gas. Okay, needle up, foot up, and fabric out. Trim it off. Let's see. Now you can really see the difference in those two. Maybe you can see better on the back. I don't know. Let's see. Can you see the difference there between the two? Okay. So if we go to number 11, it moves the needle all the way over to the left, and this is going to be the only option you have here is a 2.5 millimeter stitch. So I will show you what that looks like. And we will pull that out. See? It's still just a straight stitch, and it's just the needle is in a different position. Okay? Alright, so next video we're going to talk about the zigzag stitch. So be sure and come back for that one. Bye.